closely together in Montreal with Giselle Trudel and in Toronto with Roberta Boione. And luckily, we are very close in our way how we approach other art projects as well, or other projects as the lasers. Uh, we, uh, we discuss in each case exactly what concept we are going to raise our lasers on, how we develop it. We also discuss the participants, the speakers, but it is up, of course, to Roberta and to Giselle to have the final say. I am just there to help. In any case, we are focusing, we are thematically focusing on our lasers, but we try to do this in a way whereby we are perhaps provocative, so to say. So for example, and we also don't do it always at the same place, we have offsites. So we had one in Toronto on quantum theory and scientific visualization. We did it in the art university, and we had from the Perimeter Institute, which is a particle physicist institute, a quantum theorist, and we had some science visualization people, and we had a half and half audience actually of physicists and other academics or art students. And for me, this is very important. I always try to do this to bring something a little bit with an edge together. Or we had in Montreal, one which was about multisensory perception, both in science and in art. We did it in a tango bar, and we had the head of the sensory institute, who is a noted author on sensory perception, but we had also a choreographer who was there with a tango dancer, and because this was all about touch and focused on touch in terms of sensory perception. So we always try to go a little bit out of the exact things. Last week, this is the last example, we had one called narrating neuroscience, and this had to do with scientific communication. So we had somebody from Columbia University who is publishing comic books on neuroscience in 2 years. Now it is published in 6 languages, and we had an artist and so forth and so forth. So we had also looked at this team from many other directions. And for me, and I think, of course, for 3 of us, it's all about visibility. And we have about, last week we had about over 200 people at this neuroscience people, which was a lot. Sometimes we have only 50 or 30. And our big problem is, of course, budget. We can do this because we don't work within one, closed framework. We are supported partly by the Fields Institute in Toronto. It's a mathematics and physics institute, but this has to be in the framework of the arts and science events. So we can do it only twice a year because they don't give us more money. And in Montreal, we are supported by Hexagram, which is a research network. But again, we have to apply each time for it. So and this is one thing which we really find very difficult.
How many people do you have working on your lasers?
I beg your pardon?
How many people do you have working on your lasers continuously? Is it just you?
No, well, Roberta and me, and Giselle and me, finished.
Okay.
We don't have any type of, this is the story of my life. And,
we don't have like the staff for the web visibility, or it becomes a problem.
We do have streaming in at the Fields Institute, because at the arts and science salons they always have streaming, so we can have streaming.
Right.
In
is it archived also? Is it archived?
Yes, to my understanding, yes, it is. In Montreal, when we have a streaming that is or a recording, it depends in what framework. So I will talk later whenever there is more time about the Leonardo the 50th, because I am one of the initiators around the world. And actually, I try sometimes to bring it together. So we did have the Leonardo 50th in Montreal, combined with the laser, and Roger came and so forth. And we are doing our best to have it in Toronto next April, but we had problems there. And I guess that's it. And I did bring certain notes from both Giselle and Roberta, but I don't know whether it's now the time or another time, and I should talk about it.
I think maybe let's just go around and then we can.
Sure,
go back.
I'm very
We have
happy.
more time so we can.
So
stay on
that's why I'm
schedule.
asking you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Anybody ask any questions?
Anybody else have questions for Nina? Or
I think
comments
it's
for
great. Do you find that to be productive to change places?
Yes, very productive.
Because we're considering that. And
It's really great
It's a good
because we
thing.
go out to an artisan centers that are totally different.
Right.
We had the tango bar, we had it differently.
Right.
It's if we can, but you know, we don't have money, so
No,
we can't
sure.
pay,
Yeah.
only if they invite us.
So can I ask something like in terms of the audience? So you think like that the different spaces they attract like different audiences,
Yes.
or you have the same audience that
No,
they
no, we
also
don't
like
have the
attend
same
the same?
audience. No, we don't have the same audience. And especially if we go into another, like if the art university and the physicist, that's a totally different audience than someplace else. And that's what we want.
Anybody else comments or questions for Nina? Yeah.
Hi.